tea time. You guys remember Robin Williams and Good Morning Vietnam? I love that show, that movie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good. We just talked about this morning.
I know.
No. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. When he does his YouTube channel, I'm going to do the same thing. We just had a conversation this morning. About how tea time is my time. That's how we're going to do it from now on. Tea time is my time, right? And he wants to have a YouTube channel. Glass is not clean yet. He wants to have a YouTube channel. So I said, okay, so when you do your YouTube channel, do you want me to come behind you while you are recording and say things? Do you want me to do that? He said, no. I said, all right. So it's the same thing. You will be able to have your YouTube channel, and that will be your time with your audience. And I'm going to have my tea time, and this will be my time with my audience. So no more interruptions during tea time. And as soon as I say no more interruptions during tea time, this little Negro, now come over here. Sorry, this little African American male, come over here to my, excuse me, Mom? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, you're not excused. Good morning, 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 Anthony Perry. Thank you for joining me at my tea time table. Good morning, Facebook users. I can't see who you are quite yet. Let me get my, let me get the phone open, the page open on the phone, so that I can see who you are coming to me. Hold on. Good morning, Stacy and Karen and Elaine and Suli. Good morning. It's a good day. Today is a good day. What did we say? Talk about it. Talk about it. Tell me something good. This is your tea, Maza. This is the tea that you gave me. I'm drinking your tea with coconut milk in it. Coconut milk. Yeah, I'm on some stuff this morning. I woke up well. How did you guys wake up this morning? Did you open your eyes? I know I'm in a good mood, right? I don't know why, because I didn't get any sleep. Maybe that's why. Delirious. That dang hamster, people. He's about to get evicted. Spinning in that thing all night long, and I'm like, oh. And the problem is, I'm really kind of scary when it comes to, being at home by myself. I'm not at myself. I'm with the boy, but I'm the only adult in the house. I'm really kind of scary. So anytime I'm hearing the noise, knock, in the middle of the night, I freak out. And then I remember as I wake up, oh yeah, I have a hamster. But the first thought is, what's that? Who's trying to get in here? And then, oh yeah, I have a hamster. That thing's gonna have to go. Got to figure that out. I'm about to start trying to reprogram that hamster's mind so he can think day is night and night is day, so we can all be sleeping at the same time. Oh my goodness. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? It's not such a beautiful day yet here. The sun is not shining. It's a bright day, but it is not a beautiful day. Not quite yet. Well, I guess it's a day, right? There's beauty in the fact that it's a day and that I'm here and you are here with me. Yeah, I'm on some stuff, people. I'm on some stuff. Talk about it. So today's about communication. The boy came to my room this morning. He asked me, after we had been, having a lot of conversation this morning. It was like days of old. He came and He can't. No, I'm not gonna get used to it, Karen. Hold on, let me back up. No, I'm not gonna get used to it. Ooh, 49 degrees. No, that's not beautiful. That's cold in California. That's cold. I'm not going to get used to that noise. I'm a very light sleeper. I didn't used to be a light sleeper. I used to be able to sleep through any and everything. And then I had kids. And then now every little sound wakes me up. So no, I won't get used to that. I'm not going to get used to waking up with a headache because I heard knocking all night long. I can't sleep with noise either. So that knocking, even if it's music, if I have music going all night or the TV going all night, any noise all night, I'm going to wake up with a headache. And I'm not going to sleep well. So I did not sleep well. I had a bad dream. And the boy woke up in the middle of the night and opened my door. And he has not done this in a long time. And he said, Mom, I had a bad dream. Can I come in here? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So because the boy tries to take up the whole bed anytime he tries to come and lay with Mama, right? I have a weighted blanket. So the weighted blanket is actually too heavy for me. I've slept under a weighted blanket before, but this particular one is too heavy for me, so I don't sleep with it. Every now and again, I'll pull it over me, but in the middle of the night, I somehow work it off of me because it's too heavy. So I had the weighted blanket, and I laid the blanket between the two of us, and I was like, "Yeah, don't roll past this blanket because I don't feel like falling out of the bed today, right?" So he slept, I slept. We both had bad dreams. We both could not remember our bad dreams in this morning, so he felt better. And then he got up this morning, and what do you do when you wake up in the bed with your mama or your daddy or whoever, right? You have conversation. You talk about it. Sorry, guys. My eyelashes seem to want to be in my eye today. So he asked me about, do I ever regret moving to Maryland? And I had to think about that, whether I regret it. And my thoughts were, no, I don't regret it at all. I miss California. Good morning, Chelsea Macadocious. Good morning, Darlene. I miss California. And then I turn on the TV or I talk to you guys and I see fires and earthquakes and everything that I don't miss about California, right? That I didn't like when I was there. So I miss it, but it is only once I was able to step away from it that I was able to step away from the stress that I was under while I was there, that I was able to appreciate it more. And I was taught, because he's struggling with this transition, and I'm in a way struggling with the transition, just in the sense that I'm not able to be out and about and enjoy the environment and make friends and socialize, right, with the people who live here. I'm socializing with you, right? I'm socializing with you back in California and in Florida and in Michigan and in Missouri. I'm socializing with everybody but people in Maryland. And well, he's doing the same thing. So we talked about it. And I told him things this morning that he didn't know about when I transitioned from my good morning, Phoenix. Good morning, Phoenix. Good morning, Tobiah. I told him about when I moved from Missouri to California. See, because in his mind, he loved California. I mean, he was born in California. He loved it. It was a fantastic place. That's great, right? But Chelsea, you were there with me. You were there with me when we moved to California from Missouri. You were there with me. Was it all rosy? No, it was not all rosy. And I don't know about this, but I'm going to ask. I hope I get the right answer. Suli, was it all rosy when you moved from New Zealand to California? And I'm assuming you came straight from New Zealand to California. And I keep saying New Zealand because I think that's where you're from. But then you said something about another state, but city, country, maybe where you said you were from, though, is a part of New Zealand. So if you're not from New Zealand, let me know. But still, So see, Chelsea says, no, I was not happy. I was not happy when we moved. Right. That's because you have your mother here. And that yeah, mama, I'm gonna let you believe that. I'm gonna let you believe that. Couldn't even finish reading that sentence. But was the transition, is the transition always easy? Is it what we sometimes when we're going through that transition, we're regretting having made the decision to go through the transition, right? We're like, why did I do this again? Not at all. I came from Solomon Islands, but my life has been one of a nomadic kind. But having a kid brought a different level. Okay, okay. Wait, is New Zealand part of Solomon Islands? Am I why am I thinking you're from New Zealand, Suli? The transition isn't, and you know what, Suli, is interesting because I moved a lot. As a matter of fact, you and I are a lot alike. I moved a lot. I moved from Missouri to Atlanta, from Atlanta to back to Missouri to Oklahoma, from Oklahoma to from Oklahoma to where else did we leave? From Oklahoma to Maryland, from Maryland back to Missouri, from Missouri to California. You're from Oceania. Why did I think of New Zealand? Girl, I've been putting you from New Zealand forever. I don't know why. Somebody in our tea time is from New Zealand. I moved all over the place. At a certain point, you get tired of it. And as you get older, the transition during those moves, I mean, you know, when you're young, you pick up, pack up, go. Like, yeah, I'm done here. Let me go. That was my life probably until I got to California. We didn't live in Alabama. You know, child, I got to think about it. No, we didn't live in the culture part was the biggest challenge for me. No one helps you here. Right. Didn't we live in Alabama too? No. It's part of the same ocean. My family oh, your family now lives in New Zealand? Okay. Now that makes sense. I knew I connected you with New Zealand for a reason. The transition hasn't been easy from Makanda, Illinois back to St. Louis. Right, that's the thing. The transition is not always easy. And you can sometimes look back and regret the choice that you made to leave, right? Or you can look back with and fantasize, not fantasize. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it is kind of fantasize, I guess. Fantasize about what you had when you left. Girl, where are you from? New Zealand. I mean, look, New Zealand. From now on, I'm just gonna call you New Zealand. Oceania. You're from Oceania, but you lived in the Solomon Islands. Okay, now I'm gonna have to give. You're gonna have to give me a map of where these little places were that you lived, so that I can look it up. And when I say a map, I just mean from write it out. I went from here to here to here to here, so that I can look it up. Okay, same ocean, similar culture, ocean peoples. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Chelsea. Romanticize. Thank you. I knew it was the wrong word. You can romanticize about what you had when you were where you were. But when you were there, you were miserable and you left for a reason. I can romanticize now about California, although I do recognize I was not happy for a good amount of the time while I was there. Now, we had a good life, right? But I was not happy. I was not fulfilled. I was not completely fulfilled. I was never completely fulfilled. I had fulfilling moments, fulfilling times, right? I love lots of my experiences in California. But ultimately, I was not happy and wholly whole all the time. So I can look back to all the wonderful times, but how about that time when our house burned down, Chelsea? How about that time? How about that time when we were technically homeless? How about that time? Right. We don't talk about those times. But how about that? How about that time when there was no hot water? And so I had to go to my friend's house that wasn't my friend. I had to take a chance on somebody and hope that they would not kill me and my children. and spend the night so that my babies could have a hot shower because the hot water wasn't on in my house. Now, that wasn't my fault. I paid my bills. That was my damn housemate. My housemate landlord who didn't pay who took my rent money and didn't pay the bills, and I come home and there's no water, no electricity. We're living by candlelight and by flashlight and doing homework at Denny's because there's no light at home. Why didn't you just boil water? There wasn't any electricity to boil water, girl. There was no gas and no electricity to boil water. Me and Chelsea was held down in the bathtub by me and her brother. You would have thought that we were drowning the girl. She was 5 or 6 years old, so that would make her brother 8 or 9 years old. And the two of us had to struggle to hold her down in the water to wash her body in ice cold water. So when I met some guy and I drove to his house, he took me and my kids out because I ain't had no babysitter. I didn't have any place else for them to be. So we went out. And I was like, it's so late. Can we just sleep on your couch? I wasn't sleeping with the man. Can we just sleep on your couch? He had a pull-out couch. Me and my 2 children slept on his pull-out couch. And I'm telling my children, go get a shower. And Chelsea, she was a baby. She wasn't thinking. She's like, I'm so tired, Mom. I sent him to the car to get the laundry out of the car so that they can have clothes to put on, clean clothes. Because fortunately, I had done laundry. And it was in the car, right? Probably on purpose because I was planning. Look, I was strategic. Like, yeah, I'm about to go out with that man. We're going to spend the night someplace else. We ain't sleeping in this. No heat, no electricity, no hot water. We about to give my baby a hot shower tonight. And then Chelsea's like, man, I'm tired. So when he went to the car to get the laundry, I sat down and was like, girl, look, you about to get a hot shower. Don't tell me about how tired you are. Are you crazy? Then she thought about it. She's like, oh, she had a hot shower. And that man whose house I slept at, that I didn't really know, but you got to do what you got to do, is still my friend to this day. He's my brother now. I wasn't truly happy with living in Illinois, but I do have good memories. I always wanted to come back home. I lived there for 18 years. Right. You know, the thing about it is, but the transition, I mean, look at your transition now, right? Look at your transition now. You're having a difficult time transitioning back to where you wanted to be, right? Yes, it was very traumatic for Chelsea, but it was done in love, with love, right? Living in different states had been a big adjustment for me. Living in Missouri was a challenge. Living in Texas was great until the summer. Growing up in San Francisco was the best for the diversity of people and cultures. But the transition, think back to the time you arrived. See, because I can look back at California now and I'm like, oh yeah, I loved it. And I really did. I was not, there's this conflict inside of me, right? I was not happy, but it was the cost of living. It was the constant struggle. I was making really good money and yet still couldn't have the life that I wanted to have. Now, maybe if I had been willing to move out to Sacramento or to Sonoma or to Vallejo, or, if I had been willing to move far away from where I was, I would have been able to have, I would have been better financially with the money I had, but I wasn't willing. That's not the life I wanted. I didn't want to be driving 2 hours to work every day. I did not want that. Okay. So, but think back to when you arrived. If I think back to when I arrived, our first 2 years was a struggle. I can remember a time, you remember, Chelsea, when we stayed at a hostel for 10 days. Why? Because we were technically homeless. And I wasn't about to be sleeping in the car. So I found a hostel to stay in. And I think we actually stayed longer than 10 days. You're only allowed to stay 10 days a year in a hostel in California. They let me stay longer because I was homeless, technically. I didn't have a place to go. But is that Chelsea? You love it in California now, right? You don't want to leave. I mean, well, you do, but you love California. Was your when you got there, those hiccups that you ran into when you first got there, Suli, landing in a new land where people don't help, where you're not used to that culturally, and understand, Suli, you might be from Oceania and I'm from Missouri, but trust me, it's a different culture from Missouri to California as well. And that was one of my struggles as well, is that transition. People saying, yeah, we're gonna go out, we're gonna do this, and then never being there, never actually being solid with their word. Let me go back. Let me see some of these comments. Living in different states. Yeah, got that one. When I moved here from St. Louis, I loved it. I have never wanted to go back. In fact, I had always felt that the East Coast was exactly where I was supposed to be. The transition was wonderful for me. Who was that? Elaine? That must be Elaine. Let me see. Yeah. But Mama, you were at a different stage in your life. You didn't have your kids with you, because it's easier to transition and to love it along the way when you're not toting the children with you, right? That's easier. You didn't make that move with 5 children in tow. And I agree with you as well. Like I agree that the East Coast is a great place for you. I agree. And you had a job when you first came out here. So you weren't coming out here looking. Now things changed when you got here, but you had a job that you were coming to. I have come to realize that the transition helps you meet the people that you need in your life. That's what makes the place and city wonderful to live, no matter how expensive it may be. Okay, I'm gonna let you have that thought, because it ain't so one. Well, maybe had I met you guys all when I was there, again, for me, had I landed in a different place when I got to California, I probably definitely would have had a different experience in that transition. But I did meet wonderful people, and I stayed for 20 years. So, it wasn't a short time. And honestly, had my job situation not changed, I probably would still be there. I would not have left. I'd still be in California making it do. I'm ready to try a new place, maybe a new country. Yeah. It's the people that make the place. That's right. I actually enjoyed staying at the hostel. I know, because we made it fun. It was fun, Chelsea. We had a good time at that hostel. Absolutely, Suli. I'm in total agreement. I have lots of stories of trying to find daycare, figuring out the job market, taxes, and driving on the other side of the road, getting an apartment with no credit. Yeah. It was hard, and no one has proper answers. Asking questions and trying to not sound frustrated. Thank God I'm outspoken, because here you don't ask, you don't get help. No one will offer. Exactly. Very different from what I'm used to, right? I need to be close to the ocean. Yes, that must be Suli. So, I'm reading in a couple of different places. That must be Suli. Yeah, you're an ocean person. Very different, yeah. Oh, that's Tobias saying you have to be close to the ocean. Yeah. How did I missed a comment here. Kai, even this transition of yours has helped you meet us. Tea time is a wonderful vibe. Yes, oh, listen. Absolutely. Oh, I see that. Okay. I don't know. I like California, but it's never felt like home, which makes no sense because I've lived here most of my life, grew up here, but it still doesn't feel right. I don't know where I want to go or when I'll get the feeling of some place being home. But for now, Trent and I are going to move to Sacramento. Maybe moving out of this apartment and living with my significant other will make it feel like home. You know what, Chelsea? I think your situation, it not feeling like home for you, because you really did grow up in Marin County. But I think the same reason that you don't feel like it's home, I never felt like it was home. I think it was what we were surrounded by. It just didn't feel like home. And so I can understand, because I had the same feeling. And that's why I say, if we had landed in a different parts of California, even a different parts of the Bay Area, it may have felt like home. But I agree with you. It never felt like home for me either. The transition moving to Illinois was fine because Wayne's family is there, but I wasn't making the money I was. Coming back home has been rough, but I don't regret it. I enjoy staying at the hostel, but my memory isn't of us not having a place to stay. I thought it was a staycation type of thing. That's right, because your mama know how to do that. Maybe at the time I knew we didn't have anywhere to go, but looking back, I remember as a vacation thing. No, Chelsea, you didn't know we didn't have any place to go. You didn't know. And we made it a staycation. We made it that. That was our fun. It happened to be in the summertime, but you were going to summer camp every day from the hostel. Chelsea Mack, it could be Marin. I feel the same here in Sonoma. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, Suli. And that's why I said, if we had landed in a different part, it would have probably felt like home. It would have probably felt like home. And I would probably miss it like it's home. I feel more like home in Oakland. Yeah. California home all my life. Love it. Yeah, I think that's the thing. But the point that I'm saying that you have to talk about things right. San Francisco is like living on an island. Being close to the ocean is healthier for me and relaxing. The problem for me is that my breathing got bad in California. Because you're in the black part. Yeah, Stacy, you're in the black part, so it feels like home. But the rest of us struggling, not feeling like we are where we can be ourselves fully, where we don't have to be on edge. I think that's what this transition. So this conversation is not rooted in me having a difficult transition here. I'm not really having that difficult. The difficult transition here is only with relation to not being able to be social. Every other part of my existence right now is so fulfilling for me. And you're right, Suli, this tea time. Suli, honestly, if you get out with Heat as much as you do, and Catrice, and you've probably done family wellness stuff, I've probably seen you at something and just was so in my own space, not feeling at home, that when I came around people who probably would have helped me feel at home, I felt like an outsider. And so it wasn't really, I did Carnival, and I still felt like an outsider. And I'm not saying that that it's a rational feeling, but it is just what it was, right? I felt like an outsider in a lot of places in California, but I did feel most at home when I was hanging out around the lake, which is why I used to go there all the time. When I would go to Oakland, I felt most at home there. Somewhat still like an outsider, but still most at home there, right? But the whole point, the reason why today's topic is talk about it, is because here my son is missing California. He's asking me, Mom, did you regret moving here? And I had to help him understand the struggles that he was having in California. We had to talk about it. We had to talk about the experiences that I had, that Chelsea had, that Christian had when we moved to California, because this is the first major move of his life. He's never moved. He was born when we were living at our house in San Anselmo. Hey, where are you going with that, man? No, that's not yours. Hey, Sharon, come get your dog. No, Nugget. No. Vas-y, allez. So we had, sorry, got to catch the dog before he takes my stuff. So you have to talk about your experiences so that you can help the people around you understand. I mean, it's just like when you're a successful business person and people look at you like, oh my God, you're so successful. Like I ain't struggled. Like I have not struggled. No, I put in hard work. When you get to the top of your game, you didn't just land there. You're not privileged America. Hey, no. Etienne, come get a Nugget. He's interrupting my tea time. I want you to tend to him so that I can finish my tea time. How about you take him on a walk or something? He's out there. He went that way. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I have to be with my people familiar. We need that connection, right? Oh, hold on. I think I missed some comments. We need a sense of community, and I think that Tobiah, you're right, and I think that's what I was missing in California. Now, trust me, I hope that I don't sound like I hated California. Now, when I was there, I hated California, was ready to go every year, stayed because those children of mine were in high school and I wanted them to finish school. But now that I'm here and I'm getting connected, I realized that what was missing for me was that sense of community. And I was always looking for it. I never found it. I was always on the search for that sense of community. But it was hard for me living so removed from the community that was mine, right? I just need to know that, Elaine says, I just need to know that water is not too far away. Maryland is green, and the green means water is near enough. That is enough for me. Suli says it's the feeling of disconnect, not deep enough. I know that feeling, but I slowly meeting people that have been fulfilling. Yes, that I'm grateful. You know, I was telling Suli, I was when we were talking this morning, and he was just laying across my bed. We were having a conversation. Talk about it, right? And I decided to approach his question about regretting the move differently. And I decided to share with him some of our experiences, mine, Chelsea, and HN, Christians, so that he would understand transitions can sometimes be difficult, but once you get past that transition, you find your place and you love the place that you found, right? I think that was the hard thing for me. And I was talking to him and saying that, you know, most of the people that I talk to on Tea Time now are in California. And I wasn't connected to them when I was in California, but I'm able to connect to them now. And I was saying that to him because all of the friends that he plays with on video games, that he talks to on the phone, now, not all of them, but a good number of them, he wasn't friends with them when they were in California. As a matter of fact, these people were bullies with him. And they would, they would tease him. And I'm like, now they're your friend. So you're romanticizing about what it would be like if you were still in California. But I need you to remember that you were not happy there. And there's a reason you were not happy, right? Stacy says, I have to be with my people familiar. We need that connection, right? Justin says, yeah, maybe moving to SAC might change that. Maybe not. We have talked about moving out of California too. My boyfriend has never lived anywhere else, even for school. He stayed in Cali and went to Chico. So it would be a bigger change for him, having never moved, than for me. Yeah. But it gets harder as you get older, Chelsea. Moving is easier when you have connections and support, right? Good morning, Alicia. Yes, you both will be okay and will thrive and be successful wherever you are. You have a great support system. He will meet some good people as he gets older. We intend that for him. Yeah. I also need more Black friends. I have none, so I'm not happy with that, but there's no one around me to befriend either. The times I've tried to get involved in like a Black student union to connect with my people, I was treated super poorly and ostracized. That was one specific time, but it was still disheartening. Yeah, they got it. Chelsea wasn't Black enough. Yeah, Chelsea wasn't Black enough, y'all. That's a whole other conversation, and we will have that conversation at the tea time at some point. That's a whole other conversation. Chelsea is a black woman in America, knows who she is. She might date a white boy. That's fine. Chelsea, go hiking with Suli. Yes, Chelsea, you need to go get connected with Suli and Pam and go hiking with your new aunties. That's what you need to do. You'll meet lots of Black people. Can I ask if the Tea Time family keep us in your thoughts this week? We have one more inspection on the house, and then we will be able to move. Absolutely, Karen. Absolutely. Absolutely. You'll be in our thoughts and prayers. There's also a Black girl hiking group that is super dope in SAC. So Chelsea, there's your Tea Time auntie Suli. And Suli can get you can go out and do stuff. And they have crafting days, Chelsea. So this is the thing, finding your community, but you got to talk about it. You have to be willing to talk about it, right? This may sound strange, but I have never felt separated from my children, family, or friends. I believe that Mom, I need you to get off my tea time this morning. It's always somebody at the table. I never felt that way. I believe that my spiritual psychic connections have always been so tight that I never felt away from them. Well, goody, goody, Elaine, but the rest of us out here struggling, feeling disconnected, okay? All right. Yeah, so it does sound crazy. Shut up, Suli. Don't stop pumping my mama's head up. Tobias says, Chelsea, you're welcome. See, there you go. I feel like that too, with my family. Who says that? Suli says, right. So let me say this though. If we're talking about being, I've never felt disconnected from my family. Replying to it. Let's all go. There you go. Everybody go to Tobias. Tobias gonna make some pineapple stuff, shrimp and something. I can't eat pineapple, else I'd be down. But that jambalaya, we'll be down for that. So this is the thing. I've never felt disconnected from my family at all. But that doesn't mean that I haven't missed their physical presence. When I got out to California and I didn't have, I grew up in a big family with lots of people around on a regular basis, right? First of all, I lived with lots of people because I was in a big family. And then friends around, people coming over, people stopping by on a regular basis with no invite, just stop by. Good morning, Jana. So the physical presence is where the disconnect is. The physical presence is not a spiritual disconnection. No, never. I've always felt connected, and I still feel connected I feel very connected to my California people. I feel very connected to family that's not here. So I get what you're saying, Mom. I'm just giving you a hard time. But you also, Elaine, moved away from all of your children at a time when all of your children were grown. And you also moved to a place where you felt connected to that place. You felt connected to the East Coast. You also landed in an area that was very diverse and fed into who you are naturally. So you didn't land in an area where people didn't help you. There was no child care, where you were struggling with small children. You didn't have that experience. Now, maybe earlier in your life you did, but you moved around St. Louis, and it's not so hard to stay connected with your social circle when you're just moving from Central West End to Lafayette Square. I've been fortunate to have met very friendly people in most of the places I have moved to. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I think, again, as we get older, moving with small children and having to find the resources to support your children is trying. At least it's trying, right? At the least it's trying. And moving to a place like California where the cost of living is so crazy, and then you're living in, and then for me, living in Marin County, where it's not so easy to have access to resources, because look at this. Like, I didn't move out there with my car. There's no BART that goes into Marin County. So Marin County is really disconnected from the rest of the Bay Area. You also have an established, strong relationship with your children and grandchildren, Mimi. Right. So it's a different, Mom, generationally, it's a different kind of feel. Okay, I'll let you know when we hike next. Catrice, Key, Pam, and I are meeting early November for a hike. I'll keep you posted, then you can join our other hiking groups. We do things outside of hiking too. Right. Yeah, get her involved, Sully, because when I was doing it, when I was there and I was doing it, she didn't want to do it with me. But y'all pull her in, please. And she's at a different place where I think she's more open to doing these things and wanting to do these things. So that's good. The point is, you have to talk about it. You just have to talk about it. Don't bottle things up inside and not have these kinds of conversations. I found the area after I moved You are right that I didn't have the children issues. To be honest, I intentionally didn't. Yeah, because you waited till we were all out of the house to move, which makes for a very different experience of moving, right? Not true. I was busier when you were doing it, and you also told me last minute. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's why I'm saying this is a good time for you to do it, Chelsea. Make the move until you were all. Yeah, yeah. You intentionally. Exactly. That's the thing, Mama. I know that that's what you did. You waited till you waited till all of us was out of the house. You're like, all right, I'm out of here. I understand. That's what you got to do sometimes. Got to wait till your children get what they need to get. Okay, now let me go. Although I will tell you, had you moved prior to me graduating high school, I would have been okay with that. Maybe I wouldn't have been at the time, but the point is you have to talk about it. Having a kid when moving is stressful. I started losing my hair at one point. Really, girl, I understand because I had two. And now this one. And he's trying to understand. I mean, I had to explain to him that we have to everything has gotten complicated with the pandemic. Right? I am happy with my move. So you asked me the question, do you ever regret moving? No, I don't. I think about why I chose to move. I had things going on that encouraged me to move specifically to this area. I think about it and I keep processing it as to whether my thoughts were in the right place. And I keep coming back to yes, they were. And this was, I knew I always wanted to be back on the East Coast. I would move back to California. I would. But there would have to be certain things in place for me to move back to California. I don't want the expense of California. I make less money here and I'm better off financially. I mean, dollar for dollar, I make a little less. But I'm better off. I'm way better off financially than what I was in California. On fewer dollars. You know, I don't have to just think about kayaking lessons for my son. I'm about to sign him up. I sent an email. He said he wanted to kayak, no problem. I don't have to figure out how to make it work and how many hats, how many scarves, how many cupcakes do I need. Now, the one thing I will say is that my cupcake business was on and popping in California, and it's a different environment here. And that has been a struggle. Like, wait a minute, y'all don't understand. These cupcakes are the bomb cupcakes. Y'all need these cupcakes. But California supported my cupcake business so much better. The need for quality vegan products, quality food is a California thing more so than here. And there are people here who appreciate vegan, but not the same way California does. So that, yes, I miss. The support that I get from my artistic community, the support that I get from my scarves, from my knitting, from his candles, from all of that's California. So yeah, in that sense, for entrepreneurship, I need to be in California. And that's what would draw me back to California, the love I have for people who are there. Who I was almost in tears this morning, y'all. Y'all know your girl don't cry. Not publicly. I was thinking back to the times that people have been there for me, that my tribe in California is a tribe. You guys part of my tea time, that y'all are my tribe right now. Try to say you're not, we're going to have a talk. You are my tribe. And my tribe is California, Missouri, Florida, and Michigan, and Maryland. I feel good. And now, yes, Sully. So I'm looking for kayaking classes. Now it gets difficult because, you know, the winter here. So things close down over the winter. So like in California, you can probably kayak all year long. Here, you can't really kayak all year long. So I did send out a message to, I put out on a Facebook group. So there's a Facebook group for parents in this area that I live in. So I joined that group. And then I decided yesterday to ask for recommendations in that group. Somebody recommended a place that teaches kids how to kayak. And so I reached out to that place. And so I'm lining it up so this boy can go kayaking. Because other than that, I'm going to have to be out there on the water. And y'all, they only have a tour and we might go on a kayak tour tomorrow. 4 hours, and I'm terrified of the water, but I might have to go because this boy wants to kayak. I'm just scared I might not be able to handle 4 hours. That's the thing. That's why I need a class for him. But we push through, we fall down, but get back up, right? We keep moving forward, even if forward is just thought. Yes. But I'm resilient now, too much for my own good, sometimes. I'm missing who's saying these comments. I'll be sure to cook a big pot of shrimp Creole for your visit, Chelsea and Suli. Yeah. Yeah, when I come back to California, I'm going to have to make a stop. Yay for the kayaking. Make sure you get a waterproof phone case. So I was gonna try to take him kayaking this weekend, Suli, and then I read when they were like on the page what you should bring and how you should be prepared. I realized I have nothing to be prepared for a kayaking trip this weekend. He doesn't have waterproof clothes. He doesn't have quick wick drying clothes. I mean, all this stuff that like you have to have that, especially out here during the fall and winter or spring or whatever. Certain times of year, you have to have specific types of clothing. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't have that. We got to go shopping before he would go kayaking. So it's not going to be a this weekend thing. But we might go on a canoe tomorrow. To buy a car. That sounds so good. I miss good home cooked meals. Totally different lifestyles in California. Yeah, I will buy your cupcakes after I move. I will order my candle. Be sure to let me know what you like to eat. Let me look into the paddling clubs on that side and see if there's one close to you. Yes, please do wear a life jacket. No, Suli, you don't understand. The life jacket, it ain't about swimming. It's not about fear of drowning. Okay, so just having a life jacket is not gonna it's not gonna clear this part of my mind. If you can touch base with your inner voice before making a decision of importance like moving, then you can know that once you decide what you are doing, it will be right. So when something happens, you relax because you know you are in the right place and all will be well. Oh, go to Walmart for those clothes I need. Oh, that makes sense. Boating and fishing aisle. So we may go boating. So yesterday I got recommendations. See, talk about it. Talk about everything. Talk about everything. Talk about everything. I was at work yesterday, and as I was leaving, I was like, hey, so who knows a great place to go fishing? Because I don't know. Who knows a great place to go fishing? And I'm asking because not every place is safe. Just the place that I was thinking of going boating, I'm listening to my coworkers talk about them being in this city, and they're like, oh, yeah, you might want to be careful in that city. I'm like, wait. There's something wrong with that city? And they're like, yeah, you might get robbed or whatever. And I'm like, no, I was gonna go boating there tomorrow. And they're like, yeah, you can go boating there, Kai. Nobody's gonna rob you on the water. But that city isn't necessarily the safest city, but you're okay to go to that park and go boating. And I'm like, okay, just talk about it. But we might go fishing. Because I don't have all the fishing equipment that I used to have, again, because I left it all in California. I'm looking at a charter fishing trip where I can take him and they give you the pole, the bait, everything, and he can fish. No, I can kayak for as long as I'm not thinking about being on the open water. Who is that? Yeah, see, Chelsea, how is that? How did you end up that way? Once I start to think about it, I would need to be back on shore immediately. That's me, Chelsea. How did you get that way? You didn't used to be that way. I'm sorry, baby, if I did that to you. I didn't mean to. If you fall in, just relax. Don't fall around. Don't flail around like three-legged frog. Nah, Suli, don't talk about falling in. Just assure me that I won't fall in, and that's the only way I'm gonna go. That's the only way I can go. I won't relax if I fall in, Suli. Do you understand that? If I fall in, I will have a heart attack. Keep your toes up so you can see them. Okay. Yeah, now you're scaring me. You have next door. Ask about fishing, boating. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I haven't gotten onto next door out here, Jana, like I did in California. I have to get on it more. Yeah, I have to get on it more. Suli, there's a place in Marin or Sonoma. I can't remember which county, but it's on that side, the Marin side. Solano. Anyway, I can't remember what county, but anyway, it's on the Marin side. Sully, shut up. I'm not one with the water, okay? I don't have to be one with the water. You be one with the water. I am one with the land, okay? You won't fall in because you won't be trying to. They don't just flip over randomly. No, Chelsea, sometimes they do flip over randomly. So shouldn't ATM take some classes before he goes kayaking so he's physically ready? No, the classes are kayaking classes. They are classes, Mom. They're classes on the kayak, with the kayak, learning how to row appropriately, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's like you can't learn to ride a bike if you don't actually get on the bike and pedal, right, Mom? So how do you prepare yourself to learn to ride a bike? It's the same thing. You learn to ride, to kayak by being in the kayak and being taught what to do. So he'll go to the classes. That's why his mama is not just going to take him out and rent a kayak and go out there. No. However, no, he was too young. Remember when we went to Southern California, Chelsea, and we were in kayaks. You have a life jacket on, and we weren't strapped into the kayak. So if you flipped over, you could get out of the kayak, and you're not going to drown. And it wasn't rough water. So this is a very calm water experience. Don't scream at him. I won't. Sully, I hold it. I hold it. I don't put my fears on him. That's why I set him up to have someone. I mean, Sully, we went to Lake Berryessa. I rented a boat and we got out on that boat and I let those kids get in the lake. And then I start freaking out. And I'm like, okay, you guys just have a few more minutes to swim in this water because mommy is starting to freak out. So I'm going to need us to get back in the water and get back to get back in the boat and get back to the land. I will, not in my experience. Trent and I went kayaking and I was freaking out about flipping over. He was trying to prove that it's hard to do by leaning over both sides and shaking it. I wanted to kill him. He may turn suddenly. Yeah, Chelsea, I think that there are some particular kayaks that are weighted a particular way. Sully, you would be the expert, not me. But when I was reading about the kayaks, there were, when I was reading about the lessons, they talk about taking you on having a beginner kayak, and those are a little bit harder to flip than others. Sully, I will not flip out as long as I'm not the one flipping. He can flip over in that water as long as he has a life jacket on. I'm okay. I don't freak out because he's in the water. I freak out if I'm in the water. Anyway, the thing about it is my son got up this morning we woke up at about 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, and I was going to go take the dog on a nice long walk before tea time. And he asked this question. Next thing you know, he's laying back across the bed and we're having a conversation and I'm helping him to understand. I'm sharing with him about my experiences in transitioning, just to talk about how we transition. I shared with him things that he didn't know before. And that helped him understand that this too shall pass, right? This is why we come to sorry guys, but it's that time of the year and I'm all congested. This is why we come and have these open, raw, real conversations at this table, because you need to know this too shall pass. It will pass. It will pass. Whatever strain that you're going in, whatever disconnectedness that you feel, recognize it and move on. Work to connect. Sometimes you need the storm. Didn't we just talk about that? Sometimes you need the storm. And I feel good. I feel good that we had a 2-hour conversation. Oh, absolutely, Sully. Absolutely. Absolutely. That walk got put to the side. Come on, lay down. I don't need to get out the bed. Let's finish talking. We talked about all kinds of stuff. We ended up talking about gun control. We ended up talking about everything, but just sharing with him my experience of transition and not trying to make everything be so rosy. Everything is not rosy. Right now, I have a friend of mine who's contacted me and wants me to come to California. And I'm trying to figure out how to make that happen, and I just really don't think I can. I don't have to pay for the trip. I don't have to pay for it. It's a surprise for somebody. I don't have to pay for it, but I can't make that trip. because I have a child here that can't make the trip with me. We got a pandemic going on. I got a dog. I got a hamster. I can't make that trip, but that's a struggle that just is a struggle, and you move on. You move on, right? These times are just reminders that we all have the power to get through these times, right? And sharing, sometimes you don't have to share all your personal business. You don't have to share all your struggles. I told the boy, we talked about it, and we talked about how I would like to go back to where tea time was my time, and that he's welcome to join tea time if he logs on through his computer. And he joins tea time just like everybody else joins tea time, except for those times when I invite him to be at the table, maybe talk about small business conversation or whatever. But otherwise, all of these constant interruptions is messing with my tea time and my ability to decompress with my tea time crew, right? And we talked about how he wants to have a YouTube channel, and whether he would like for me to come onto his YouTube channel and interrupt the way he interrupts me, whether he would like that, or whether he would like for me to allow him to have his YouTube time. Now, we also talked about he can have his YouTube channel, but he won't be doing any live. He will do recordings, and every recording that he wants to post has to go through my review first. So he will be able to have a YouTube channel, but it would be highly regulated YouTube channel just for his own. Yeah, Mama, I don't have any peers. You've been thinking about the water too much. I got PEER, PEERS, but I don't have any peers like Pier 41. I'm ready to try something new. Kayaking may be my next adventure. Man, Tobiah, you need to get out there with Sudi. Sudi needs to take a whole crew out there. She's on the water every day. So, guys, I want to thank you. Talk about it with your kids, with your significant others, with your friends. Be open to talk about some of your struggles. You don't have to talk about everything. Everybody doesn't need to know everything about you and all your struggles. But you know what sharing does? Thank you, Mother. You know what sharing does? Sharing is caring, right? If I share with you what my experiences are, it helps you to understand that when you're experiencing the same thing, you are not alone. Everybody else out there is experiencing, has experienced, or will experience exactly what you're going through right now. If you're feeling disconnected, you can say you're feeling disconnected, and then we're going to connect you. My oldest son yesterday was telling me he needs a mentor. He needs a therapist. I was like, ooh, who's at my tea time table? I got mentors for you. I got therapists for you. But nobody's going to know what you need if you don't say what you need, if you're not talking about it. If you're not talking about it. I was talking about Chelsea's situation. We're having a regular conversation at the table about job search, blah, blah, blah. And then here, Tobiah overhears, and then now Chelsea got a mentor. Now Chelsea has help. I mean, community people, you want to be connected to your community, connect yourself to your community. But talk about it. Let's just talk about it. I need to be bionic to keep up with Suli. Yeah, well, that might be the case too. You have Dancing Out Loud. I wrote it to share my experiences. Correct. And you can also share your experiences verbally, right, Mom? We're sharing our experiences. And it's so funny because I've always been, oh, who's looking for a Black therapist? We got Black therapists for you. Oh, Chelsea, we got people at the table. Oh, yes, we got that. We got Black therapists for you. A couple of them that's come to our table to have conversations. So no problem. Female, Chelsea Mack, please contact Pam. Yes. There you go. That's because one of the people that Pam connected me with somebody, and I'm trying to decide whether that person that Pam connected me with for HN, whether I'm going to have that person work with HN or whether I'm going to refer that person to Christian. I don't know if it needs to be the same person. We have people Maybe I'm going to do a separate post and I'm going to post some of the people that I know at the table who are therapists. But that's something that's very important. It's something that's very important is to be able to have a Black therapist. So you stay connected. Somebody who can understand you. Somebody who can understand some of the struggles that you've gone through, not necessarily from your same perspective, but just from being a Black person in America perspective, right? Chelsea was too Black, not Black enough. Let me say, Chelsea was not Black enough for her Black counterparts. What's not Black enough? You know, that's a whole other conversation. What's not Black enough? That girl knows she's Black. Never had a doubt, although she is our resident white girl, but never had a doubt about what color her skin was, where her culture is, who she's connected with. Never had a doubt about that, although she is our resident white girl. Tobiah Carter, we are planning one mid-November. Come with that. There you go. Chelsea, show up. Go kayaking. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get on my way. Oh, let me show you. Oh, I can't stand up because, well, look, I was going to say I can't stand up because then you can see I'm not really properly dressed, but oh well. Is Pam the person I was supposed to connect with to find care provider at Kaiser 2? Yes. Yes, that is the person. Look, you guys, I'm mad. I'm mad because my Chelsea Mack, I call myself finished with her scarf, right? So this is Chelsea's scarf. Chelsea's scarf, guys, has taken me a long time but it's not long enough for Chelsea. So I have to go back to the store today and buy some more yarn so that I can make it super long. Chelsea wants a super long scarf, so fine. This stitch is a new stitch that I was doing. This pattern is new. So I kept messing it up and I had to keep taking it apart, and start over, take it apart, start over, take it apart, start over, take it apart, start over. So today that's what I'm doing. And then I'm working on another scarf. I'm starting a new one. And then after I do this one, and I'm going to the store, Suli, I'm holding you accountable. I'm going to get yarn to do your red, gold, and green, red, black, and green. I'm going to look for some royal blue for you, Tobiah. But then after that, I'm gonna make a shawl. Anyway, so this is what I will be doing today. I will be crafting, and I'm gonna teach the boy how to knit today. We're gonna work on him knitting. So he might be putting together some hats for me, because this is a lot of work, people. This is a lot of work. So he will be joining my crafting. Thank you, Suli. Is this okay? I don't want long either, but that girl wants long. Is this too long for you, Suli? This length? This is like a 60-inch scarf. Is that too long or too short? About like that. So you tell me if that's too long or too short. Chelsea wants it longer. She wants it to come down further, so I've got to go add more yarn. For me, this is long enough because I don't want it so long that when I'm trying to put a coat on, that I have to find extra room. Wish I had it for Halloween, dressed as Black Panther group, Z and I. Well, you should have told me earlier, girl, but I ain't gonna have about 31st. Look. See, Suli, now you got me on a mission. I might be able to hook you up by Halloween. Let's see, how many days is that? 7? I don't crochet for people. Oh, that's the perfect size. Okay, perfect. I might be able to hook you up, but it won't be that pattern. I could hook you up by Halloween if we do this pattern. If we do that pattern. It's a simple knit pattern. And I can do that with a ball on it. You want a ball on it? That'll be cute. It only needs to be a little bit long and not excessively long. Too short for drama. Yeah, Chelsea needs drama. Anyway, guys, so we're going to get on with our day. We're going to get some crafting done. We're going to you want the ball? All right, I'm hooking you up, Suli. Red, black, and green with some red, black, and green big old balls on the end of it. That'll be fly. Oh my God, I'm going to do that. Okay. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful, 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 glorious day. Just remember, communication is key to every strong relationship. So talk about it. Anything, talk about it. And be open to the conversation. Be open to hearing what other people have to say. Be open to sharing. Make sure that you are not listening to speak, but you are listening to hear, to process, to understand the other person's perspective. Don't just be listening, waiting for them to shut up so you can get your word in. Hear them, hear them, hear them. Girl, you better start crocheting and knitting for folks. This is a moneymaker. Look, as soon as I finish these projects, I'm going to have it on an Etsy page or something. I'm selling this stuff. This stuff ain't free. I got bills to pay and a house to buy and a student loan to pay off. I don't want to go crippled. But anyway, so talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. No, I ain't talking to you, Elaine. You talk too much. And Chelsea, don't call me. I'm busy. I'm just kidding. Everyone, have a wonderful day and be safe out there. Yes, be safe. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and keep your distance. I will see you here tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are having our California proposition conversation. We will not be on at 12 o'clock my time. We will only do the 3 o'clock Eastern time. 3 o'clock Pacific time, which will be 6 o'clock my time. So we are not doing our morning tea time. We are only doing the California proposition talk tomorrow, and I will post that on my page to remind everyone. I don't know what happened with the invite. It looks crazy to me. I don't know, but I will post, and I'll tag a couple of people. If you're going to be on the panel, please. I need some panelists. I ain't in California. Have a wonderful day. I will see you guys here tomorrow.